You've been manipulated today, not metaphorically, not conceptually, literally, before you even clicked on this video. Why did that thumbnail catch your eye? Why did that notification feel urgent? Why did you suddenly remember a snack you saw in an ad 3 days ago? None of it was random. You think you make decisions, but billions of dollars are spent every year to ensure you don't. Today I'm going to expose the exact psychological tricks used by corporations, media, and even individuals to control your actions, often without you noticing. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to defend yourself. Because once you learn to spot the strings, no one can pull them again. You walk into a supermarket or open a shopping app. You're greeted with options, rows of cereals, dozens of shampoos, hundreds of clothing styles. Wow, so many choices. I'm in control. I get to decide. Wrong. Most of the decision-making happened before you even arrived. Product placement isn't random. Companies pay to be at your eye level, because you're 35% more likely to buy what you see without moving your head. Even the colors are strategic. Bright colors target children, muted colors signal premium. The box shape, the font size, the direction the mascot's eyes are looking, all scientifically tested to maximize subconscious attraction. On digital platforms, the same trick happens through default recommendations, auto-selected options, and most popular badges, most of which are not actually based on popularity, but profitability. It's not choice. It's guided behavior dressed as freedom. How to resist the illusion of choice? Before picking anything, pause. Ask yourself, did I truly arrive wanting this, or did I start wanting it after seeing it? If the desire wasn't present before exposure, it was installed, not chosen. One powerful trick: start with intent. Decide what you want before entering the store or app. Don't ask, what looks good? Ask, does this match my pre-existing goal? If not, you're not shopping. You're being steered. Only 3 left in stock. Flash sale. Ends in 15 minutes. Last chance before it's gone forever. You've seen it. You've felt it. That sudden internal panic. If I don't act now, I'll regret it. But here's the truth. Most urgency online is manufactured. Most countdown timers reset when you refresh the page. Most only 3 left messages are dynamically generated per user. Companies don't want you to think, they want you to react. Why? Because logical buyers compare. Emotional buyers commit. Your brain is wired for loss aversion, meaning you feel the pain of losing something twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining it. Marketers don't sell desire. They sell fear. How to resist scarcity traps. Whenever you see act fast, mentally respond, if this disappeared tomorrow, would I truly suffer? If the answer is, not really, walk away. You just beat the algorithm. If it's truly valuable, it won't disappear forever. Real opportunities don't need desperation to sell themselves. You look like someone who appreciates quality. Only smart investors get in early. You seem like a person who always makes great decisions. They sound like compliments. But they're not expressions of admiration, they're psychological traps. Why? Because flattery creates instant rapport. It lowers defenses. It forces you into a role. If they call you intelligent, you now feel pressured to act in a way that proves their statement true. That's not flattery. That's behavioral programming. This tactic is commonly used by salespeople. You're clearly a discerning buyer. Manipulative friends. I knew you'd help. You're the reliable one. Romantic manipulators. You're nothing like other people. You actually get me. How to defend against flattery manipulation. Simple rule. If a compliment is immediately followed by a request, proposal, or offer, it's not kindness. It's control. Respond politely, but detach from the label. You aren't smart because someone said it, so you don't need to prove anything. Real respect comes without expectation. Have you ever laughed at a joke in a TV show just because the laugh track played in the background? You didn't laugh because it was funny. You laughed because others laughed, even if those others were just recordings from the 1980s. Humans are tribal. Thousands of years ago, stepping away from the group could get you killed. So today, your brain still carries this hidden script. If many people do it, it must be correct. That's social proof, and it rules modern society. Fake bestseller labels on Amazon. People in your area are watching this movie. Banners on streaming platforms. Concert audiences clapping in sync. even if no one knows why, none of them mean truth. They mean momentum. And momentum is often manufactured. Next time your brain whispers, "Well, everyone's doing it," respond softly, "Yes." And how many of them regret it later? Being different isn't risky. Blind imitation is. This one is sneaky and incredibly powerful. It starts with a tiny request. Just sign this petition. Just subscribe, it's free. Try it for 7 days, no commitment. You think it's harmless? After all, what's the big deal? But once you say yes to something small, your brain activates a powerful script. I am the kind of person who agrees to this. And your subconscious will do everything to remain consistent with that identity. Suddenly, that free trial turns into, "It's only $9.99, might as well continue." That innocent favor becomes, "Well, I helped before, I shouldn't stop now." That subscription becomes, "I've been here this long, I might as well stay." It's not about logic, it's about commitment, inertia. How to defend against this trap? Before agreeing to anything, no matter how small, ask, "If this request doubled tomorrow, would I still say yes?" If the answer is no, then don't say yes today. Small agreements are contracts for future compliance. Refuse early, or get dragged later. This is one of the most dangerous psychological tricks because it feels harmless. It starts with a tiny request. "Can you sign this petition? Just give us your email. It's free. Try the 7-day trial. No commitment. You accept. You feel generous, open-minded, agreeable. But underneath that moment of kindness, something deeper happens. Your brain tells itself, "I'm the kind of person who supports this." From that moment on, your subconscious tries to stay consistent with that identity. So when the next request comes, upgrade for full access. Donate just $10 to continue the cause. Since you're already part of our community, you feel obligated, not because the request is reasonable, but because your ego doesn't want to contradict itself. Before agreeing to anything, big or small, ask, "If this exact request were doubled tomorrow, would I still agree?" If the answer is no, then the correct answer today is also no. Small favors are often Trojan horses for future control. Close the gate early. Anchoring is so subtle that even professional negotiators fall for it. Example: if I show you a $2,000 watch first, then a $200 watch, the second one feels cheap. If I reverse it, $50 watch first, then $200, suddenly it feels expensive. Nothing about the product changed. Only your reference point did. This trick is used everywhere. Real estate agents show you overpriced homes first, so the next one feels reasonable. Restaurants add a ridiculously expensive gold-plated steak just to make a $40 steak feel normal. Online stores show original price, $499, now $199, even if the item was never sold for $499. You're not evaluating value, you're comparing it to the first number you saw, the anchor. When evaluating anything, mentally delete the first comparison. Ask, "If I saw this with no comparison, no before, after pricing, would I still think it's worth it?" If the answer is no, you weren't judging value. You were reacting to anchoring. This trick doesn't change the truth. It changes your reaction to it. This product has a 90% success rate. Sounds amazing. This product has a 10% failure rate. Suddenly feels risky. Same number. Two completely different emotions. That's framing. And it's used by politicians. We added 1 million jobs versus unemployment is still at 7%. News media, cases surged by 50% versus still less than 1% of the population affected. Healthcare ads, reduce the risk by 30%. But from what baseline? They don't change facts. They rearrange them to steer your reaction. Defense. When someone presents a statistic, flip it. If it's framed positively, convert it negatively. If it's framed negatively, convert it positively. If both versions still sound fair, it's likely truth. If one suddenly feels manipulative, you caught the trick. Manipulation doesn't always come from strangers or companies. Sometimes, it comes from people you care about. Wow, I guess you don't care about me. After everything I've done for you? No, it's fine. I'll just suffer alone. This tactic operates on emotional debt. They remind you of what they once did, so you now feel obligated to pay back. But kindness shouldn't be a loan. Real love gives without demanding. Manipulation gives to later collect. Ask yourself, if I said no, would this person still treat me with respect? If yes, that's care. If no, that's control. You don't owe anyone your peace in exchange for their approval. This tactic is common in toxic relationships, manipulative bosses, and exploitative companies. They don't improve your present, they promise a better future. Things will be different soon. Just be patient. Promotion is coming. We see your effort. I'll change, I just need time. They don't take action, they sell you words. And optimism becomes a prison when it's used to delay consequences. Stop listening to promises. If someone's actions don't match their words, believe the actions. Hope is beautiful when it's chosen. But when someone hands it to you instead of results, it's manipulation. You think you're buying a product, but in many cases, you're actually buying an identity. Apple doesn't sell phones, it sells innovation. Harley-Davidson doesn't sell motorcycles, it sells rebellion. Nike doesn't sell shoes, it sells winners. Once you adopt the identity, you no longer question the price. Because at that point, you aren't buying utility, you're buying belonging. And belonging has no price limit. Defense. When you feel emotionally pulled toward a product, separate function from identity. Ask yourself, would I still want this if nobody saw me with it? If the answer is no, you're not buying a product. You're buying validation. Humans don't believe what's true. They believe what's familiar. This is called the illusory truth effect. That's why slogans repeat. That's why political chants loop. That's why headlines recycle phrases like historic, record-breaking, never before seen. Your brain is wired to assume that if something keeps appearing, it must be real, even if it's completely false. Whenever you hear something more than twice, mentally flag it, then verify it, not from echoes but from evidence. Truth doesn't need to scream to be heard, lies do. Manipulation isn't rare, it's everywhere, but that doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The true strength isn't in never being influenced, it's in recognizing when it's happening, and choosing differently. Now that you've seen the strings, will you let them control you again? Comment right now. Which trick have you fallen for before? And which one will you never fall for again? Share this with someone who needs to wake up. And subscribe, because in the next video, I'm not just exposing manipulation. I'm going to teach you how to use psychological defense as a weapon, not just a shield. Your mind is valuable. It's time you protect it, like it is.